Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and it's time for the dOOKIE-fAT-sTACK. That's right, yeah! Anyway, you can just call it the bulk review if you want, but I'm sticking with dOOKIE-fAT-sTACK, alright? Let's get started. Issue number 26 of the Immortal Hulk. This is actually the first comic book that I read this week, because hell's to the yes, Alex Ross. It's not just Alex Ross, man. Joe Bennett, all that gorgeous art inside, Paul Mounts, those beautiful colors. This Al Ewing guy just coming out of nowhere talking about this is the Hulk that you always wanted, but never knew you wanted, because that's exactly what it is. Holy crap, love this. Love this. The conspiracy theories in this one and the freaking political intrigue. It's barely even intrigue at this point. It's literally just, yeah, so this is how the government works in case you haven't been paying attention and just nobody likes you. Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that about this book. Go and check out that review. All these first books I'm doing, I've already done lengthy reviews over them, individual reviews for them. You can look them up by the issue name, and you can type, Comic Book University afterwards. Psh, you're golden. Anyway, we got King Shazam, The Infected. This is a one-shot, and that's the worst part about the whole book, man. Oh my God. I want this to be the new status quo for Shazam in some ways, dude. This was Sin Grace, if I remember correctly. Yep, Sin Grace doing this. I didn't know he had it in him. This is badass, dude. This ain't his typical, oh yes, and the kids are getting along and they're doing, and Iceman, he's running off and making happy little yellow icicles. No. I meant to say snow cones in that one. It would have probably been funnier. But you get what I'm saying, all right? No, this is Shazam punching people in the face. By people, I mean gods. Was not playing around. This was a wild, good comic book, man. Wow. Okay, now, the two comic books that I did together in a live review, these two right here. New Mutants #1, X-Force #1. From the Dawn of X, after the Hoxpox, House of X, and Powers of 10. Dude, this is the new X-Men, and this was a fun book. New Mutants was a very fun book. I had a little problem with Roberto. A bunch of people are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I think they're trying in some regards. This, however, the final pages were heartbreaking. Did not see this coming. Already going to just switch it like everything that we learned. And they're already going to play this card. Okay, you must have a hell of a story to tell, and I'm 100% on board. Right now, I didn't, after not liking the previous two X-Force, books that have come out, runs that have come out, this is now the most must-have comic book as far as the Dawn of X is considered, as far as I'm concerned. Wow, that is good. Go check out that review of both of those books together. I do them live at midnight, which is Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. That midnight. Yeah, that's me. We also did Year of the Villain, Legion of Doom. This is actually issue number 35 of Justice League. Inside this really cool cover, they got the actual intro in there. It's funny, this is, I actually showed you what the picture is that this is obviously based on. There's no, well, I guess I could see what you were meaning. No. There is zero doubt, 100%, we know exactly what this was based off of. And it is freaking hysterical. I laughed my ass off. A lot of people not realizing how good this Daredevil run is right now. Issue 13, go check out that individual review. My buddy, Comic Boom actually tweeted it, because I don't usually put my reviews out on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Just like the X-Men one and my a couple of regular old reviews that I do. I don't usually do. If I put up 4 reviews in a week on Twitter, that must have been a heck of a week. You know what I'm saying? Must have been some very special comics. Anyway, that was really cool of him to do that. Appreciate. You're the best. But for the rest of y'all who are not reading this, the only person you're hurting is yourself. This is an amazing run by Chip Zdarsky. If y'all aren't on the Chip Zdarsky bandwagon, I don't know what you are riding. Because, dude, I'm serious when I say this, man. That guy is amazing. And his version of Daredevil is basically just beaten up, bloody, blood out of his knuckles. Not sure if it's his or somebody else's. Probably a healthy combination of both. Doctor Doom #2. I am shocked at how good this comic book is. That's real talk, man. This is just coming, for me, this is coming out of nowhere. Christopher Cantwell. I'm not so sure what else this guy has done before. LaRocca's art on this, amazing. I'm not going to complain a bit. But this story has got me engrossed. Kind of wish that this was a twice a month comic book. That's how good it is. I'd buy it. It's worth the money. Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue number 12. This comic book has been good since issue 1 with Saladin Ahmed writing. All of a sudden, this issue, it feels like a comic book from nostalgia days back in the day. Like this went full Scott Pilgrim at one point. That is such a great... Oh, I can't wait to read the rest of this arc, man. This is going to be an amazing trade paperback. But you don't want to do that to yourself. You want to feel that suspense of what's going to happen next. It's a good comic book, man. Grab it. This, just talking about Comic Boom, he actually had a very different reaction than I did to this. I just looked at this as a convoluted storyline. Just too much going on. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of characters in it. Don't care. You know what? I really just don't care. I bought this to get my ring. That's all I got it for. I can honestly give 2 squirts about Brian Michael Bendis writing this stuff. I just don't care. I'm not going to be getting the other ones, even when they're going to bring Bat Boy, basically, Robin, the current Robin, Damian Wayne, into the future. Really? Batman's just going to be okay with it? Well, according to Bendis, he will. I just don't see it. And literally, like, I cannot forgive the fact that they canceled Super Sons for this. I cannot forgive that. I simply can't. Best comic that DC was doing. As far as I'm concerned, the whole thing went downhill from there. Savage Avengers issue number 7. Guys, this is amazing. I know, a whole bunch of people, like, Professor, you start to not like it. You start to do the bulk, just do them only in bulk reviews. Yes, I did. Because it was starting to get boring, that first arc. It was out of whack. It was out of continuity. It was out of control. Now it's out of my hands how good this is. Really good. If you're a Conan fan, you need to be getting this. Because this is a very different take on Conan that a lot of other people have tried to do with other characters. Like, along the same line, like Berserker, like, for crying out loud. What's his face? Red Sonja. You know what I'm saying? They tried to do this with a bunch of different characters. Didn't work. This worked. They tried to do it with Beastmaster too, with Eric Singer. Remember that? Amazing Spider-Man issue number 33. I had one complaint about this book, only one, and that is that they keep on doing this whole, well, look, it's Spider-Man 2099, it's the 2099 universe. There was like 2 panels of them in it. I mean, like, whatever. The rest of all the panels that in all the pages that were just the book itself, really good, but only 2 panels of Spider-Man 2099. Dude, that just didn't make any sense to me. Didn't make any sense. Okay, now to the comic books that I didn't do individual reviews for. Key 6, the Killer 6. This is issue number 5, though, I believe. Yeah, issue number 5. I really did like this book, but there weren't 5 things to tell you about as far as this book is concerned. This was really good. It's Valiant. This is just Valiant throwing down some amazing stuff. The whole status quo of the book itself is about to change. You got to actually check the book out to see that. My recommendation, if you haven't been reading this, go back and try and grab that first volume. Go back and grab these books. But definitely start with issue 6 if you're not going to get those other books. Definitely jump on this because this has... Plus, after I already read the book, Valiant sent me some insider information that this book and Livewire are about to become staples, mainstay staples of the Valiant universe. Like, they're actually going to be pushing things forward. So I'm wondering, should I start reading? Should I start trying to read Livewire again? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, issue number 1, Undiscovered Country. This is, like, you can see the huge list of people on this. Is like an all-star team. I mean, even the letterer is the famous Crank, who made that that font, that lettering type, the language basically for Dupe. This guy. Him, Dupe, yeah, that guy. I'll give you a closer look if you're not sure. Yeah, that guy. Anyway, this, I don't know, man. I think this could have been a whole lot better. Like, it starts off pretty good with these crazy things going on, like, you know, the country, you could just see right by the cover, the United States has been taken completely out of the equation. It took itself off the map. It put walls around itself, you know, build a wall, build that wall. They built a wall all around it. Basically, this is just like, you know, Scott Snyder and Charles Soule saying, hey, you know all that crazy stuff that Trump says? Yeah, what about if that actually became real? Okay, great concept. Okay, they built walls all around. They're heavily defensive. Nobody gets in. Otherwise, we will shoot you. If you even come close, we will destroy you. There's an impenetrable grid around there. Even if you try and fly over, you get zapped and whatnot. So anyway, the rest of the world, meanwhile, is in chaos and it's all falling apart. Yeah, sure. And they suddenly get a couple people actually get an invite to come to the United States. And like, what? There's no way. Really? Is this real? By the time these guys get there, though, they see like these mutant creatures pulling. They're over on the West Coast. There's the West Coast. It's backwards from here, right? These carts, these vehicles with no gas in it, being pulled by mutant sea creatures in the desert. Yeah, so like mutated porpoises, kind of like across the sand with ropes on their back, pulling vehicles. It didn't have to get stupid like that. As soon as I saw those images, I was like, I put the book down. I was just like, are you kidding me? I walked around the room a little bit. I left the room. I walked out. I'm like, dude, like, I could have gotten into this, but they just started, you know, like there's mutants and stuff like that in here. And I'm just like, you know what? This is just stupid. Some big mutated American bison goes and bites somebody's shoes off or feet off because they dared step foreign boots on our land. It's like, dude, I can't get behind a comic book like that. If you get into stuff like that, this is definitely your book. But for me, I just looked at this as like, dude, you will not get my money for the second issue. I'm so out of here with that. It just got like I said, this could have been a really good book that I could take seriously. Instead, it's like once I saw these animals, I'm like, this is just stupid. The rest of the book just went and got completely like, oh, we're going to flip everything on its ear. I think that the story was already on its ear. And then you turn around and you throw this nonsense at us, the stuff that was happening in this book. None of it made any kind of sense. If you can't explain stuff, or at least get me interested in the first issue, I'm done. Undiscovered Country for me, biggest bust of the week. Biggest bust. Because they've been hyping that, man. Book that got better because issue 4 wasn't great. Issue 5, I could have done an individual review for this. I absolutely could have. But, you know, you kind of go on the back burner when I put you on the bulk review list only. You know what I'm saying? Lois Lane issue number 5. Really good. This is Lois Lane. There was a brief panel or 3 of Clark. Nothing of Superman. And just bang. Just Lois Lane kicking ass, taking names. Like, she's explaining certain aspects of journalism. Greg Rucka just kicking ass on this. What's her name? Renee Montoya, the new Question. She's going on actually physically beating people up. Nope, this was a fantastic story. I really liked this. I enjoyed the heck out of this story. This is what I'm talking. This is what a Lois Lane comic book should be. They're taking some of the real world events that are going on. Currently, there's a frigging Republican in the White House. Whatever. I'm still of the opinion he's still just a Democrat from New York. Sorry, I knew Donald Trump longer than most of you guys. Anyway, yes, he happens to be in the White House. So yes, that's what the political intrigue is going to be about. So they're taking little snippets from that and turning it into a completely different kind of story. They're just mentioning some things, and it's supposed to just, you know, get people, you know, oh, okay, I get you. It's just rooting the book, but she's doing something else entirely, and it's really fun. You know what else was fun and for a different reason? Ghost Rider issue number 2. They right away went to Ghost Rider versus Ghost Rider, but, you know, good-sized book. There was maybe 3 pages, if that, of Danny Ketch versus Johnny Blaze. There wasn't really a whole lot in here at all. It was a bunch of story, and the story was fun. I did enjoy the story. It's Johnny Blaze mostly just looking for demons, and Danny Ketch and the rest of the humans can't see them, but he sees them. Is he right? Is he wrong? Like, is he really that crazy? I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But wow. But wow indeed. This is a story that, if played right, people are going to be talking about for a long time. But it's got to be played right. Let's talk about Crescent and Io, issue number 1. There's a one-shot, realistically. Basically, there's the future adventure stuff. I genuinely do not give 2 squirts. All of these one-shots from the Future Fight books, I've got no interest in reading them. I haven't read any of them. I'm not going to. But this is a must-have for fans of the Future Fight game, Marvel Future Fight, because it gives that origin story that we just didn't know about. You can read a brief little origin in one of these stories, and it's on the screen, and it's like, okay, cute. But to actually see it played off and whatnot, this is official. This is official. Green Lantern Blackstars. It turns out this is going to be a 3-issue limited series. I thought it was going to be a 12-issue limited series. I don't know if they changed that or I just misread it. But I could have sworn they said there's going to be 12 issues. Now it's down to 3. So are they going to go back to the Green Lantern series after this? I don't know. But there's some fun parts in here. Mogul, you can see on the front cover, Mogul's actually in the book. Sorry. Mogul's actually in the book. But Grand Exquisitor or Inquisitor Mu, what a Grand Controller Mu. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I'm going to be grabbing issue 2 and 3. The book just didn't go in depth enough for me to really care that much. I can already see where I believe this story is going to be going. Hal Jordan is under the control, and he's eventually going to use his willpower and get out of it and get his ring back. And issue number 67 of Harley Quinn is like Harley Quinn. Okay. This is another one of those covers very similar to the Justice League book where it's actually like this see-through thing. And I'm just saying, I don't know why I love this inside image so much. Your guess is as good as mine. It's, I don't know, it's just a regular old image as far as I'm concerned. I don't see what's so special about this at all. But anyway, God, that's hot. Anyway, this was a really fun book, man. There wasn't a whole lot of action. It was Harley meeting up with her dad, after her mom died. And there's laughter about her brothers actually getting anything done. But it's really just Dad getting a little bit, sad. You can see, a couple of sad moments, even though he's trying to pass things off. You can tell he's really just lost in his feelings. And it's understandable. I mean, his wife died. He really did love his wife. Spider-Man and Venom, Double Trouble. This is Tamaki, right? Yeah. Can't remember her first name. Mariko Tamaki? Yep, Mariko Tamaki. And Guri Haru doing the art. I'll show you inside what in general it looks like. Guri Haru's got some good art skills. I should just go back to that first picture. No, this is a good one. So all of this is what the art looks like. This is the fun art that Guri Haru does. It's kiddish. The story itself is kiddish. Peter Parker and Eddie Brock are not in this book. It's just Spider-Man and Venom. You might sit here and go, wait, what? Remember, it's a kid's book. This is Spider-Man. This is Venom. They're not Peter Parker and Eddie Brock, respectively. They're Spider-Man and Venom. That's who they are. So, it's a pretty fun kid's story. It's not a book that's necessarily targeted towards me. I am not part of its target demographic, so to speak. But I did enjoy the book. It was fun. If somebody handed me issue number 2, I wouldn't hand it back. You know what I'm saying? Until after I was finished reading, I'm just saying. Yeah, I would read it. But am I going to buy the second issue? Nah. Like I said, it's not for me. You want to grab this for your kids, have a little laugh, by all means. You know what I'm saying? Venom is not trying to eat anybody's brains in this. It's just not happening. Green Goblin is in it. He's not throwing pumpkin bombs and razor rings trying to kill people. It's just a bunch of fun. That's all it is. Swordmaster, issue number 5. I actually wound up reviewing this live on my podcast that I actually did earlier today when I'm filming this. because the artist in the back, Ario and Andito, was in the chat, and he's just like, hey, so how'd you like the book? But dude, I love the book. You know what I'm saying? The first story was especially long. This is with Doctor Strange. I believe that this was the first story is the web comic that originally came out. So yes, Doctor Strange is dressed in his after the Days of Magic stuff with the I think they were called the Imperium. They came and they took his magic, the Imperium. He lost all of his magic. He had to destroy all of his magic items and everything, and he had to kind of start from scratch, right? And hunt down magical artifacts just to have a chance against magical using creatures, whatever. So this was him. This was that version of Doctor Strange, you know, during that time in his life. Baron Mordo's in the book also. And Doctor Strange asks a very important question of Lin Lai. You know, why exactly should I let you keep this sword since you clearly don't know how to use it? Which, that's kind of like a running theme of the character. Lin Lai doesn't really know how to use his weapon. The next story, which is set in the modern day Marvel universe, is Lin Lai and Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi's trying to teach him how to use his weapon, and they actually team up with Ares, god of war. They're going to, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We'll go scratch your back first. Got to go and rescue his son. And some monsters down there trying to protect his monstrous son. And a battle ensues, and it's a pretty fun one. This is one of those comic books where Shang-Chi really gets to shine. So if you're a Shang-Chi, forget about all the other characters in this. If you're a Shang-Chi fan, you should definitely be grabbing this book because it's a whole lot of fun. Let me shove this one back in. Okay, Web of Black Widow, issue number 3. Jodie Hauser, I usually love her work. In this case, I just like it. It's not a love affair kind of situation. There's a lot going on that I really just don't understand. It is a Black Widow comic book, so I get it. Plus, I just read a lot of comic books this week, as usual. I just wasn't really in the mood to try and figure out a bunch of stuff was going on, but basically she takes on a protege, so to speak, who is assigned to her, though. And she's not only ungrateful, but she also thinks a lot more of herself. It's like she just went and got her butt kicked, and then she's saying that I'm your equal. No, you're not. No, you're a paltry insect, and you're lucky that I don't just end you right now. You know? But yeah, she goes with her anyway. And the only reason why she brought her with her is to see if she was a traitor or not, which I think is a really weird thing to do, because what if she was and she decided to ace you? I mean, she spent most of the time behind her. I get it. But she's Black Widow. Yeah. She's still a human, man. Like, come on. Come on. Issue number 9 of Wonder Twins. I love this book. Mark Russell. Stephen Byrne is doing the art, right? Nah, they don't bother. Oh, yeah. Yep, there we go. This is a fun book. This is a fun book. You get to see more of the Scrambler in this. You get to see how his program was actually stopped and if it could potentially go again. You get to see the work that Polymath's father, the heck is his name? It's another form of math. There's Polymath and, I don't know, some other kind of math. Anyway, Philomath, that's what it was. I knew I'd remember it. So, Philomath's computer from 1988, this is actually kind of funny, has some kind of a world-ending virus on it. Kill the children and protect the virus. A vaccine that protects viruses but kills children. Russell's getting a little bit dark in his old age. This guy's not old, but I'm just saying. So when he they discover that Philomath is probably in the Phantom Zone. The way they figured out is actually kind of cute. I kind of dig that. Not cute, but telling. Very telling about the lineage of the Wonder Twins. Anyway, so they're going to go and they're going to try and rescue him. That's awesome. I love the idea they're going to do something like that. This was, as can be expected, a good book. A book that I didn't expect to like at all, and I really didn't, but it was a really good concept, and if you guys are interested in following it, then you should. Yondu. I am not a fan of this version of Yondu at all. I just don't like his attitude. I really just don't like anything about him. But the original Yondu Udanta is in this also, from the Guardians 3000, which would be a great grandson or super great, ancient lineage grandson of this version of Yondu, the movie version of Yondu. Okay, very cool, very cool. So they're going to try and work together, mostly younger. Yondu is going to try and work with his ancient ancestor, who doesn't want to work with him at all. This could make for a good and interesting buddy cop kind of story. But I don't do buddy cop comedies. I don't do anything like that. And this is probably going to wind up becoming more of a comedy with this, young or newer Yondu. And I just, like I said, I really just don't like Yondu as a character. I love the original. The original Guardians 3000 version is amazing. But this version, I don't think there's anything redeeming about the character. I'm just not a fan. Young Justice issue number 10. This is the one of the final books that I actually read this week. I actually just finished it up earlier today. This was a decent enough book. I think I'm really just so over Bendis at this point that I just don't care. Like, he's writing this team book. He's writing the Superman books, both of them. He's writing his own stuff, and he's writing now the young not Young Justice, this is Young Justice. What's that book? Legion of Superheroes also. Too many team books. I don't know what this guy's made of to keep on writing like that. It's definitely something special. He's able to pull that off. But the idea of actually writing stuff that's good, there were some weird moments in this book. Moments in the book where I'm just like, dude, what are you even saying at this point? Those moments that make me just want to stop reading the book and just look at the pretty pictures for the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? Bendis, for all his years doing this, he's got to learn how to stop doing that. When somebody starts saying something as simple as a comic book is too wordy, take the advice, dude. Just take the advice. Finally, my Pornhub review was Zombie Tramp issue number 65. Yep. And this is up on Pornhub right now. I can't do the link, otherwise I'm gonna get banned from my channel, my own channel, because we're YouTube partners, who it's a completely one-sided relationship, therefore not really partners at all. Excuse me. Anyway, there was no nudity in the book. I could flip through the book and show you. There was nothing special about the book whatsoever. There's barely any cursing. There's no reason for it to even be up on Pornhub, and I might not actually be reviewing it anymore. But the 5 variant covers, 3 for this and 2 for Amygdala, the space vampire. I think that's what it's called. It's actually on the back here. This picture I don't think I should show you. But anyway, yeah, Amalgama, Space Zombie. That's what it's called. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. But yeah, that's it for the dOOKIE-fAT-sTACK, the first week of November reviews for this week, for this month. That's it. So guys, I'm going to leave now. Feel free to check out my Patreon page, where I give you guys a couple extra good stuff. People ask about movie reviews. Okay, I do movie reviews on Patreon. So by all means, come and check it out. Until then, I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.